Hi, this is DeFi 250, also known as DeFi, and welcome to more Rose Cup practice. We did another mini tournament on the Zionic Discord. My first opponent is El Guapo Mark. I lead Alolan Marowak into Medicham, and he's going to be bailing out of there pretty quickly, and he's going to bail out into his Golbat, and I'm going to switch into my Probopass. And I'm thinking, I don't think Golbat has anything that really touches Probopass. It does have Shadow Ball, which tickles a little bit. It does about a quarter damage to my health, but I've got Rock Slide, which is super effective and nearly takes out Golbat. I'm not quite able to fade it down before he gets to his second Shadow Ball, which takes me down quite a bit. And I'm stuck here into Probopass, so he's got the switch advantage and is able to knock my Probopass out. But then I'm able to come back into my Alolan Marowak. I've got a Shadow Ball almost ready to go. My Shadow Ball gets shielded, and I shield the Psychic. Psychic would have done quite a bit of damage to my health. And now we're in an Alolan Marowak mirror match. And I realize here I should have just gone for a Shadow Ball. I didn't realize that he had already lost both of his shields. So now he goes for the Shadow Ball at this point and is able to knock me out. So I'm left with just a Medicham, and I'm thinking I deserve to lose here. This is going to be a Shadow Ball, it's going to hurt, but it's not. It's only a Bone Club. So at this point, I'm able to knock out his Medicham with a Psychic. And then I have just enough energy to get to a Dynamic Punch and knock out his Alolan Marowak. So I just barely eke this one out. And then we go into the second match of the first round. And you're going to see that Probopass is definitely my MVP. I lead Alolan Marowak into Medicham, and El Guapo Mark chooses to stay in a little bit longer this time. So I decide to let this Ice Punch come through, and then he uses that opportunity to bail into his Alolan Marowak. I let the Shadow Ball go, and which gets shielded. I just build up to a Bone Club, which gets let through. And I correctly shield the Shadow Ball. Alolan Marowak mirror matches are all about shield baiting. You're going to see here that he's going to be able to get to one more Bone Club on my Alolan Marowak, but I'm going to get to one more as well and just barely take out his Alolan Marowak. But then he's going to bring in his Medicham, just one little fast move, and mine goes down, and then we are right into a Medicham mirror match. I shield the Psychic, and he uses this as an opportunity to bring in Golbat, and I bring in my Probopass to counter. And Probopass here just does some work. And all I need to do is one Rock Slide charge move, and that nearly takes out the Golbat, and I'm just able to fade it down from here. He's not able to get to another Shadow Ball. And then I learn from my mistakes of the first match. Rock Slide is resisted, so I go for Magnet Bombs instead. And I use Magnet Bombs to take out the Medicham. And that's GG's on the second match of the round. And then we go into the third match of this first round. I have Alolan Marowak going into Golbat. I switch into Probopass, and he uses this as an opportunity to switch into Medicham. So he's got the switch advantage. I'm stuck, and Probopass just can't really do anything. But then I bring in Alolan Marowak, and you can see there that Psychic, even though it's technically resisted, took out a giant chunk of my health. I have to shield here so I don't eat the Shadow Ball. I go for a Bone Club to try to get a shield, and then I go for a Shadow Ball hoping he won't shield that, but he does. And then all I've got left is Medicham, and Medicham's going to take one Shadow Ball and go down. So El Guapo Mark definitely took that third match. So, for this second round, I start off against Enraged Robot, and I lead my Gliscor, and I am a woman on a mission, and my mission is to get the boost. So I am just going for straight Night Slash. I shield, just in case it's a Shadow Ball or something that's really going to hurt. He baits me with a Poison Fang, and I'm just keep going for the Night Slash in the hopes I get a boost. I do not get it, and I'm not quite able to get to that last Night Slash. and I just let my Gliscor go. And I bring in Probopass. He brings in a Probopass of his own, and we are just going for tank against tank at this point. So lots of Magnet Bombs are going to be exchanged here. It looks like we both have the Spark variant on our Probopasses. Spark charges up a lot faster. It'll lose some matchups. However, I definitely prefer it to the Rock Throw variant. He switches into Alolan Marowak, and I bail into Wigglytuff. And this is something that I get confused about in this match and in the next match. Because in my mind, Wigglytuff should be able to win this match because it's a Fairy type and Alolan Marowak's a Ghost type. However, Fire resists Fairy. And that's something that I forget constantly. Because I grew up in, Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3 before Fairy type was a thing. So I keep forgetting Fairy types matchups. So I lose that one. GG to Enraged Robot. We go on to the second match. In the second match, we both think the same way. Probopass versus Probopass. And again, lots of Magnet Bombs are going to be exchanged here. I'm kind of wondering, is one of us going to bail? Or are we just going to tank versus tank to death? Who's going to blink first? And it turns out it is going to be Enraged Robot who blinks first. He's going to switch out. And he switches into Alolan Marowak, and I switch into Wigglytuff again. But again, I keep forgetting Fire resists Fairy. So even though Shadow Ball wasn't very effective, and I can take a lot of these hits, I am going to end up losing this matchup. I do take down quite a bit of this Alolan Marowak's health in the process, though. So that's at least satisfying. I get it down to the red before I bring in my own Alolan Marowak, and my Alolan Marowak has Hex, so I'm able to take it down quite a bit with some fast moves. I double down on my Marowak, double shielding it, keeping it up at a good amount of health. And I go for the Shadow Ball, thinking it's either going to do quite a bit of damage or I get a shield. I get the shield, and I try to get to that Shadow Ball, but I don't quite get there. He gets the Shadow Ball first, knocking me out, and I'm hoping maybe I can at least take out the Golbat, but I don't even get that satisfaction because Rock Slide doesn't quite one-hit KO a Golbat. So then one Magnet Bomb and I'm done. So that was beautifully played by Enraged Robot. And then we go into the third match. I bail out of Medicham into my own Alolan Marowak, and we are in, again, an Alolan Marowak mirror match. Lots of those happening in the Rose Cup. He switches into Sableye. And this is a losing matchup generally for Alolan Marowak, but I do have the Hex variant, so my fast moves are doing a little bit more damage than if I had Fire Spin. I go for a Shadow Ball, hoping he thinks I'm just baiting him, and I'm not, so that's awesome. And I am able to take out the Sableye. I'm able to get to a Bone Club quickly and get his very last shield, so now neither of us have shields. I bring in my Probopass, which does have Rock Slide, which is going to do super effective damage against Alolan Marowak. So this is going to do quite a bit of damage, knocking it out. And he brings in a punchable thing. Probopass is super weak to fighting types, so I launch a Magnet Bomb and use that. And I try to do a switch. Doesn't quite work out that way, but I bring in my Medicham from the beginning of the match, and I'm able to just start chunking that down, and I'm able to walk away with at least one win out of this set of 3. So GG's to Enraged Robot. In round 3, I play against Pavlovian Test. He's going to lead Sableye. I've got Gliscor. So I'm going to be going for those Night Slashes here, trying to get that boost. There's one. No boost, he shields it and bails into Wigglytuff. And I'm thinking, is that a shiny? That looks like a shiny Wigglytuff. That hurts my feelings. I want a shiny Wigglytuff. So I go for a Magnet Bomb. That's super effective. And I'm thinking here, Wiggles doesn't really have anything that's going to do anything more than tickle a Probopass. So I'm able to just farm that shiny down. And Wiggles goes away. Sableye, on the other hand, that's got something that could potentially KO Probopass at this level of health. So I shield, and I go for a Rock Slide. And I'm able to get to another Rock Slide from all the farming I was able to do. Take a good chunk out of that Sableye, and I go for a Magnet Bomb, see if that does any more damage or any less. And Sableye goes down. And then we have a beautiful shiny Charizard. Charizard is a gorgeous shiny. Dragon Claw is not very effective here, so I'm just using Charm to get as much damage as I can. Blast Burn does hurt though, it takes me out, but I have Gliscor in the back. I'm able to hit a Night Slash, and I did have a shield in case he was able to get to one more Blast Burn. So I take away that first match, and then we go into the second match. I lead Gliscor again, and he leads again that beautiful shiny Wigglytuff. I am very jealous. And I bail here into Probopass, and he goes into Machamp. And I go for the Magnet Bomb. My move that isn't resisted, he shields it. I'm able to get to a second Magnet Bomb, which goes unshielded, so I'm able to get a good chunk of that Machamp's health. I let this go. I let the one cross chop go, but I decide I do need to shield the second one if I want to keep Wiggles at good health. And I'm able to just charm that Machamp down. Now this Probopass comes in and just kind of ruins my Wigglytuff's day. I do pull it out of the match, but it's pretty much dead at this point. I build up to an Earthquake and I figure he's going to shield it. Here's some actual audio from what happened here.
Oh! Ha 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 ha!
Yeah, that felt pretty good. Even though I know that I had lost the match already, it felt good. I am able to build up to a Night Slash. I try to get the last shield. I am able to draw it, but I know the match is all but over. Because Wiggles is in the back but has barely any health, just enough to get to one last charge move. And that's GG on that match. And then we go into the very last match of the last round. And what I'm afraid of happening here is I'm afraid of switching into Probopass and him bringing in a fighter, bringing in something like Machamp. So I go into Gliscor, I go into a safe switch, and I build up to Night Slash. I build up to Earthquake and start going for Night Slashes. And I'm hoping he's going to shield them both, which is what happens here. And even though Gliscor goes down, he now has no shields. So I bring in Medicham, I shield this Ice Beam, and there's Machamp. So I do one Psychic, and Machamp is gone. The major threat to my Probopass is gone. So Probopass is able to come in, fade Wigglytuff down, and he brings in his own Probopass, and I've got shield advantage. I have one shield to his none. So all I need to do is shield this, and we're just gonna exchange Magnet Bombs, but I should be able to get to the end of the race here. We're racing to the finish, but I should be able to just barely eke it out. He worries me here, because he's gonna get to 2 Magnet Bombs pretty much right in a row, and that's gonna startle me. I'm gonna get a little nervous. But I am able to get to this last one right before he does. And it was a very, very well fought match 3. GG's Pavlovian test. Thank you so much to Zionic and the Zionic Bagglers Discord server for hosting the practice tournament. Today I battled El Guapo Mark, Enraged Robot, and Pavlovian test. I really like my team. I'm thinking about maybe making a switch, hoping to get that Sableye on my team, but otherwise, I think I'm pretty happy with it. I've got my 2 tournaments coming up this week. So, thanks for watching. and best wishes!